Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Children Hearn, and today I will be talking about how to properly speaking in front of an audience or public. So the first thing a speaker should do when you go in to talk to a public, or when you get on stage, the first thing you should do as a speaker, you should introduce yourself, give a little bit of background, like, of who you are, who's going to talk to the audience. And also the second thing is you're gonna introduce your subject. So not talk about it, but introduce. For example, you can say, okay, my name is Children Hearn, and I'm from Haiti, and I went to this school, that school, and today I will be talking about how to properly speak in front of an audience. That's just a brief example. So after that, so before you get into a subject, the second thing you're gonna do is try to open. Don't go straight to talk about the subject, but like try to get like people in the. Try to get yourself in a comfort zone. You can open with a compelling story, like a hook, like to get like a joke to, like try to make people excited, like laughing, like instead of like giving a speech, try to be like, you know what, that's my living room. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, that's my family. I'm already used to those people. Yeah, so that's how a speaker should start um speaking to an audience, and just go jump straight into the subject. So the other thing you're gonna look out after you introduce your compelling story or your joke and people start laughing, now you're gonna mix things a little bit. So you're gonna get into your subject. So once you start talking about the subject, there's a few things you need to watch out. But people don't get things right away. Come with time and practice and everything. So the first thing is it's nervousness. It's very challenging, and it's for some people it takes time to overcome it. That's what I'm saying. Practice. Like when you start getting nervous, it can be like freezing in some places, but it's like you're hot, like you start sweating, like you're mixing words, like you don't know what are you talking about, like it doesn't make any sense for like the people that are listening to you. They're not getting it. Because why? Because you're like because you just nervous, and then you start shaking, so you're not making like eye contact with the audience. Like, don't keep your head down. Like, no, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you need to you need to be comfortable, professional, and you need to make eye contact. I'm not gonna say like just like stare at just one person, make things weird, like just no, don't do that. So what I normally do is that when I'm talking in front of people, what I do is, instead of like just staring somebody's in their eyes, I just pretend to stare at their eyes, but in fact I just look above the head. That's a technique I learned from the military, like slightly like above. Like don't just stare at one person, because it's gonna get weird. Like once this person notices that, yeah, man, he keeps staring at me, it doesn't make any sense. So another thing is lack of preparation. So if you don't want to look like a fool in front of your audience, make sure you do your research. Like, show, yes, I have the credibility to talk about this subject. Yes, that's very important, because if somebody just came out of nowhere and just at the moment, so a people is gonna ask question, how you gonna answer this question? Like, if you actually don't know what are you talking about, how you gonna answer those questions? So that's what I'm saying. That's where the preparation comes from. And also practice. Practice is very important. So you need to actually review your speech, like go through it multiple times. Like, you gotta figure out a way. You'd be thinking, how am I present the speech to my audience? How am I gonna make it to make it sense for my audience understand this? Does it need a visual aid? Yes, visual aid is very important. It depends on the speech you're giving. Not every speech requires visual aid. Visual aid is very helpful. It's more like if you're trying to have the audience see, like, where I'm coming from and where I'm going. But not every speech require visual aids. I mean, I know I'm doing a lot of hand gesture right now. Well, yes. So, like I said, like I'm gonna say again, it's just practice, and then knowing your content before you do anything. Because people might ask questions and people might not, because you never know. All I'm saying, make sure you're ready for anything as a speaker. Thank you.